All right, if you're deep in the world of AI agents, you know how it is, right? It's this wild, fast moving mix of incredible tools. Well, hold on, because Microsoft just dropped something huge that's meant to bring a little bit of sanity to all that chaos. Their brand new unified agent framework.
So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll get right into what this new framework is all about. Then we're going to rewind a bit and look at its origin story. You'll see the two powerful projects it came from. After that, we'll see how it pulls the best from both worlds, and then we'll unpack its two main superpowers, agents and workflows. And finally, we'll wrap up by looking at how you can get your hands on it right now.
Okay, let's jump straight in. So, Microsoft has just put out this single, unified foundation for building AI agents. Now, why is this such a big deal? Well, because it's promising to completely streamline how developers create everything, from the simplest bots all the way to these super complex collaborative AI systems. And the big idea here is it's actually pretty simple, but really powerful. It's one single framework for building AI agents, and it doesn't matter if you're a .NET developer or a Python pro. Microsoft is basically drawing a line in the sand and saying, this is it. This is our one unified path forward for everything related to agentic AI. Yeah, and you got to understand, this thing didn't just appear out of thin air. It's a very deliberate evolution. Microsoft took two of their most popular and honestly very different AI projects, Semantic Kernel and AutoGen, and they literally fused them together to create something brand new. And the scope here, I mean, it is huge. This isn't just for building one little type of app. It is designed from the ground up to scale, from, a simple little chatbot all the way up to these complex graph-based systems where you have multiple agents all working together on a single task. Okay, so to really appreciate why this merger is such a game changer, we have to look at the two pillars it's standing on. You had AutoGen and you had Semantic Kernel. Both were amazing in their own way, but they were built to tackle very, very different problems. So on one hand, you had AutoGen. Think of it like the creative R&D lab. It was just fantastic for experimenting, for making it super easy to prototype these really complex apps with multiple agents just chatting back and forth. But then, on the other hand, you had Semantic Kernel. That was the industrial strength factory. It was built from day one to be enterprise ready, stable, secure, and ready for primetime production. And that brings us right to the core idea of this whole thing. I mean, what happens when you combine that wild, experimental power of AutoGen with the absolute rock-solid stability of Semantic Kernel? Well, you get the best of both worlds, all rolled into one single package. And just to be super clear, this is an intentional, official evolution. The very same teams that build AutoGen and Semantic Kernel have now come together to create this successor. So all that original brainpower and expertise, it's baked right into the DNA of this new framework. So here's how that beautiful synthesis actually works. It grabs the simple, elegant abstractions from AutoGen for setting up those multi-agent conversations. Then it pulls in the heavy-duty, enterprise-grade features from Semantic Kernel. What that means for you is you no longer have to make that painful choice between rapid creative prototyping and building something that's actually deployable and secure. And as if that wasn't enough, it adds brand new capabilities like these powerful graph-based workflows, and it does it all with consistent APIs for both Python and .NET developers. It's the whole shebang. Okay, so this new framework basically gives you two fundamental ways to build things. You can use individual AI agents, or you can use structured workflows. And honestly, understanding when to use each one is the real key to unlocking its power. First, let's talk about the AI agent. The best way to think about this is like a single autonomous worker. It's perfect for those dynamic, unpredictable tasks where the solution isn't clear right from the get-go. Like a research assistant that's exploring different avenues to find an answer. And then you have workflows. This is what you use when you need absolute control and reliability. Here, you define a specific step-by-step process that orchestrates multiple agents and tools in a totally predictable sequence. This is all about precision and control. So when it comes down to it, the choice is really about this: flexibility versus reliability. You'd use an AI agent for those flexible, exploratory, ad hoc tasks. But for a really complex, multi-step business process, think something like order fulfillment, which has to work perfectly every single time. A workflow is the clear, obvious choice. So, Microsoft is clearly betting big on this unified approach. This is the future of agent development on their platform, period. So let's talk about what this actually means for you and how you can get started building with it. One of the absolute best features here is the true first-class support for both Python and .NET.
Just look at these simple haiku bot examples. You can see how consistent the code feels across both languages, which is, frankly, a massive win for teams with different skill sets who need to work together on the same project. And they've made getting up and running just incredibly simple. You can install the package with a single command. From there, the quick start guides will have you building your very first agent in literally minutes. And hey, if you're already using AutoGen or Semantic Kernel, don't worry, they've got you covered with official migration guides to make the switch.
This really feels like a foundational shift, you know? By combining that rapid prototyping world with enterprise-grade stability and doing it all in one multi-language framework, the barrier to creating really sophisticated, reliable AI systems just got a whole lot lower, which leaves us all with one really fascinating question to think about. With tools like this finally in our hands, what truly complex problems will teams of AI agents solve next?